Well, good Sunday morning to everybody. Or is it lunch? It's just about lunchtime here. So I decided to sit up till 5 in the morning playing Fall Blau. So messing around with that
Hell yeah.
and some other stuff. And then I slept. So I went to bed and woke up maybe 30, 35 minutes ago, started my laundry, doing my housekeeping stuff, and I'll goof around later. But old Andrew Son here has got a whole bunch of stuff that just came in that he ordered from who?
LBWs. Again, I don't know if that looks backwards to me. I don't know if it's
No,
backwards.
it's straight on ours, but
right.
Lord, we gotta work on your focus settings.
Okay. Well, either way, got it from LBW Steve up at Little Big Wars in Fargo, North Dakota. Got here fast.
So he's
He ordered this stuff on Wednesday or something?
Yeah, what? Because you were just talking about it a couple days ago.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna centralize that camera, and McMurray's gonna go, and I'm gonna wander off, but I'll be able to hear. So if anything comes up, just yell real loud. Chris, Paul, Chuck,
gentlemen,
how y'all doing? Let me get you.
Here, let me pop open the chat over here so I can see the comments as they come in. There we go.
You want me to put it on the stream?
You're good. I got it pulled up with this thing. I can actually see, with not on my phone up here with a camera right here. I can see it on my TV right there. So we're good.
Because I could do that.
Yeah. So we got Charles, Cotty's here, Paul Dangle. What's up, Paul? And Chris is here. Outstanding. Chris, that's perfect.
You want that? Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
This is directly relative to the stuff I was pining over on Saturday, Chris. All right. So this is
all you.
Relatively focused. All right. So been painting up a mess of 15s for Flames of War because Todd has been wanting to play Flames of War. I just put them all away. I should have kept at least one of them out. Been painting up some other 15s. These are little Jamestown Settlers. You guys might have seen those. A couple weeks ago, we did a little unboxing. But either way, those of you guys who've been keeping track probably recall that I painted up a whole bunch of All Quiet on the Martian Front figures that weren't All Quiet on the Martian Front figures. Some of the ones, obviously, you fans of Orwell might recognize something like this. These are all the original sculpts for some of the tripods. We're going to set them back aside. But I need guys to fight these guys. And I've painted a bunch of civilians and civilian-esque models, as well as some Peter Pig. The civilian models were mostly from Old Glory. I painted up a bunch of Peter Pig Brits as a little British intervention force. The issue is I've been looking for good scale-fitting American Army, U.S. Army, what have you, from right around the World War I period. Really wanting to stick to the Wells low sci-fi, right? So about the only sci-fi I was looking for was the tripods. Old Glory makes a really awesome 15 millimeter World War I line, but they're big. They're like 18s. And when you put them next to the Peter Pigs and the other civilians that I've got, they're large. And as far as I know, the U.S. in the early teens didn't have any sort of, Frederick the Great Lifeguards Regiment or anything like that. The old guard where everybody's super tall. That wasn't a thing. So I needed some true 15s for American World War I. And ideally some kind of support and other stuff. You can get a lot of big guns and whatnot to try and take down tripods. My citizens have a bunch of random ones that I found, as well as some cobbled together machine guns. They're pretty cool. At some point in time, if you guys are looking for it, we can go through those. They're cool to see. But Battlefront, the makers of Flames of War and Team Yankee and Birth of a Nation, what have you, as well as all of their Vietnam stuff, have put out World War I miniatures in the past. They're great. They look awesome. They stopped making them for a while. So it meant they were pretty hard to find. They recently re-released them, but they're still kind of hard to find. I think they're direct only, so it's kind of sketchy as to where you can find them. But Little Big Wars had them. So a week or so ago, and I was at a convention and looking at them. Man, these are like the perfect scale. Okay, guy at the convention wanted a lot for them, so I didn't get them there. But starting out with this box, the Brett's Brawlers box, which is the U.S. Army in World War I, the American Expeditionary Forces. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here. Kind of mixed up, not necessarily full platoons for like the 75. There's a little Stokes mortar platoon. There's a machine gun platoon. And I was looking at this. There's 2 rifle half platoons. You can get the rifle half platoons on their own, and I really like them. My plan is to mix these. It comes with 5 just ordinary rifle stands, 2 stands with VB launchers, which are super cool. They're essentially French rifle grenades. 2 stands of show light machine guns. This is one of the little 37 millimeter guys, as well as a stand of flamethrowers, and then obviously command and a sniper. Looking at those, I said, okay, if I got 3 of those, you basically, the ideal is to have 3 guns for games of All Quiet on the Martian Front. If I got 3 of those, okay, then I'd have 3 of the little 37s, whole mess of infantry, kind of intending to mix the shows and the VB launchers in with the infantry so that I can kind of dilute and wind up with 8 stands of infantry instead of 4 stands of infantry for each one, because that would be awesome. This does also have a couple of Renaults and a Saint Charmand. You guys know me. I'm going to print my tanks. I'll use these 3 as well, but I'm going to print the rest of them just because can't beat Free and Bergman. They're not free. They cost like, 60 cents in resin or $1 in resin, but that's a phenomenal price. So we're going to pop this open to start with, and then we'll move on to the few supports that I grabbed to kind of go along with them. All right. We'll pop this guy open. This is a good box. This is beautiful. Battlefront always does good stuff. And also Steve has them on a bit of a discount, a bit of a sale, which is pretty slick. First thing out of the box. Okay, so our standard Flames of War blister for Renault FT17. Outstanding. It does have both turret options for the machine gun and the low velocity 37 millimeter. That's pretty slick. There should be another one of those in here somewhere.
And Andrew, run your hand in front of right up underneath your camera, because that's blurry as hell. And pull the box. We got to do something with your focus. That's terrible, dude.
I don't know. Like, why does these guys don't look too bad? The text looks fucking terrible.
Pull the model blister pack up to the camera real quick. We haven't had a chance to walk you through.
No, I got you. That's significantly sharper, at least on the models and stuff. So once I get them out of the box, I think we're going to be okay. I don't know how to mess with camera focuses and stuff. I'm used to using my phone, which does not necessarily do that.
Login capture on your computer.
This is another one of these. No, it's not. It's got the same tracks. That might be the Saint Charmand. We'll see when we pop it open. That'll be cool. Oh, that is the Saint Charmand. You can see the whole of it right there. Oh, it also says it on that side. I'm not that smart. My apologies. Let's see here. This looks like a second Renault. Beautiful. Yeah, that looks better. You can see like the gun and stuff pretty clearly. Oh, yeah, that focuses way better. You can see the goober nuts on my hand. Okay. Half rifle platoon. Look at all those figures. This is the awesome thing about Flames of War. Here is... this looks like the gun and maybe some command figures. The 75, that French 1897. I don't remember the MLE, whatever it is. The French have all kinds of weird names for their stuff. This is another half rifle platoon with their HQ. Okay, so let me get that out of there. Let's bust some of these open because some of these scopes are real cool. I'm going to set these down though, so that we can kind of get a good feel for each of them as we go. We're not going to take the tanks out. These are standard old school Battlefront tanks. The creme de la creme, some of my favorites. You've got tracks, a hull, turret. On these, you've also got, excuse me, the little runner in the rear for those guys, and maybe a command figure. Yeah, it looks like a couple of command figures, which are pretty cool. We're not going to pop those out. I'm going to lose pieces. That's going to be a disaster. Same with the Saint Charmand. You guys know what those look like. It also appears to have the hull. We've got a gun barrel sandwiched in there right here, as well as the 2 tracks. Good stuff. Those are going to be fun. Real simple, real nice. We're not looking at like, when you get a Zvezda kit, or if you get bolt action tanks, or even a lot of the newer Flames of War tanks on their plastics are a bunch of pieces. Not a fan. So I usually wind up 3D printing them so we get a real solid chunk. We're going to pop this open because it looks pretty slick. Back in the day, Battlefront used to have like a little raffle reward system. Granted, that's probably 10 years ago or so. But these guys, because there's usually some sort of insignia or commendation on the rear of this blister underneath the plastic. This is going to be fun. I'm going to get these guys all mixed up, and then it's going to be a dickens of a time, but it's worth it to see them. It'll be nice and cool. Let's see. Getting these open without spraying stuff everywhere can be on the sketchy side. Oh, nope. No more. It used to have like infantry assault badge or whatever if you were getting Germans and cool stuff like that. Not a thing. No, I got just their... Oh, it's for assembly information. That's pretty slick. That's helpful. Definitely not going to use it because, well, directions are not fun. So we've got in here 2 medium stands. These are the new style Flames of War bases with the pre-cut holes, as you can see, for the figures, and 1 artillery. So if I had to bet, we've got 2 command-ish stands and then a gun. There is a wheel for a gun. Definitely have that in here. Our fantastic little tank weathering material here. Wonderful. By that, I mean, you tear a corner off, dunk that in paint, and start tagging on the hard edges of tanks. Good weathering material. All right. Sorry, good weathering tools, not material. Still need the paint for that. All right. We're going to play the dump game. 3, 2, 1, and whoop. Oh, God. Not the best dump game I've ever played, but that's okay. All right. Dump goose. So in here, it actually looks like we might have our trench mortars as well, because we got a couple little mortar bipods there. Yep, there's another mortar. That's pretty slick. One of the little French little rocket trench mortars. Pretty sweet. Gun piece. Another one of those rocket mortars.
There you go. Now you got somebody to talk to you.
Those are doors. Who's that?
Hey ho.
Hey, what's up?
How y'all doing?
Oh, it's a wonderful day. So we got doors for the ammo crate, right? So this is one of the ammo guys that will have its own trailer. As you can see, we got 4 wheels, 2 gun, or a gun and a trailer. But those guys, another mortar chunk, a sweet artillery figure. Yeah, this is all kinds of out of focus. I apologize, guys. This might be slightly abbreviated then, but that's all right. Some more command figures. We got leaning guys. We got mortar guys. We've got a trail for the gun, trail for the mortar, or trail for the trailer. Mortar stuff. Some more guys that are sculpted laying down, which is always a cool day. Little guy for standing up, giving us the Captain Morgan pose. And there we are. This is a cool pack. It's a real
So this is for your Martians take St. Louis?
Yes. So to get back a little ways into when All Quiet on the Martian Front first came out, they're on its like their 3rd owners or some such, 3rd iteration now, but originally for the first few iterations, especially when it was owned by a local company here in St. Louis. In the U.S., Martians were stopped at the Mississippi River. Great big battle of St. Louis. St. Louis has turned into a Stalingrad type situation. That's why I've got all the civilians. Got some named civilians from that 1910 to 1920 period in St. Louis. Kind of cool. Like the lorries or the trucks and everything for the troops are period. It's a cool set. And then I made I have a whole ton of houses in various states of heat ray induced ruin, which are pretty cool.
So So basically, Kinloch today.
Kind of, yeah. Different styles of houses. 19 like turn of the World's Fair houses in St. Louis. The
Right.
World's Fair happened here in 1904, so there was a huge amount of expansion, especially in South City and whatnot. Whole lot of good financial times in the region. So we got a whole bunch of houses that are, like I said, burned out and semi-wrecked. Some of them. I have a whole bunch that aren't, so we can kind of play a progression. Currently on my FDM printer, there are long trench lines printing. It should be really, really fun. Thanks, Charles. But again, we needed U.S. Army. Anybody who's familiar with All Quiet on, or the War of the Worlds setting knows that humans don't do great. Need a lot of them to drop some tripods. So here we are. So that's that HQ box. We've got some command figures. We've got artillery crew. We've got mortar crew. 2 big thumbs up. We've actually got 4 mortars here. So I will 100% be seeking out more crew for our mortars. All right. We will get these guys to the side. The fun part is, again, traditionally in War of the Worlds, normal Earth bacteria wind up killing the aliens, the Martians that are unfamiliar with it and not used to it. Go figure, kind of like what happened in the Americas the first time. But
wait a minute, pull that big Flames of War base back out, the big one. How many slots is in that one? That's a gun crew base, isn't it?
It is. It's for the 75.
Oh, okay. I missed. I was out in the other room.
Nord, this is 15 mil. It is from Battlefront, the folks who make Flames of War, or produce Flames of War. Yeah. It's from their Great War line. This is the start of the Brett's Brawlers box, which is the U.S. starter box for World War I. Now, rifle platoon half. This is a big old guy, and it should be a whole lot easier for me to get open, except for that it's got a staple right there. We'll come back to that in just a moment. No, we won't. We're going to get this staple out of here.
Simo, were you an 11 Chuck?
Outstanding, Simo. What's up, buddy? Well, you're going to like one of the packs that's coming up here in a little while. One of my spare packs may or may not be. I can neither confirm nor deny at this point. I got more mortars. Absolutely, buddy. Absolutely. This is going to bug the bejesus out of me. Okay, there we go. That wasn't too bad. As always, lots of bases. Still debating if I want to use these bases for these guys or keep my All Quiet on the Martian front stuff on these MDF bases that I have. I don't know. Doesn't really matter much. But we do have bases. We've got lots of bases. I might honestly save the bases because you always wind up with, you'll get 15s and they're based who knows how. Sometimes they're unpainted. A lot of times you get them and they don't have bases. I might just save those for some laters, but we've got, as you can see, some command bases and a whole bunch of medium bases. These are little plugs, right? So if you're getting really into the basing, you can absolutely plug those holes before you put basing material on, depending on how you're doing it. A lot of times with the basing material that I use, I don't need the plugs, but that's okay. All right. 81s and mostly 120s. Outstanding. I have a whole bunch of World War II era finish 81s and 120s in this exact scale for Flames of War. That was the first army I ever played in. Well, the first big army I played in Flames of War, because I realized you could prime them white and then pick stuff out.
He was Finnish. He was Finnish army.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Sweet.
Yeah, I have a whole bunch of Finns for the Winter War. All right, so in here, again, we kind of broke down what there are. There's a whole bunch of guys with VB launchers, which is super cool. Again, that's the French rifle grenade. That's really it's bulbous. It's not a traditional like U.S. World War II rifle grenade where you got maybe that 2-inch diameter. These are bigger guys. They're pretty cool. Introduce those bases people would pay up to get the flat Flames of War bases. Yeah, they're pretty slick. They do work really well with Battlefront's figures because they're all in that same circular little puddle.
I created my own new ones now.
I know you did. They look awesome. They look great. Again, a couple of command figures. Here's a rifleman with command. Whole bunch of stuff. This is awesome. Here is the base and mechanism for the 37 millimeter gun. Those are cool. Essentially what you've got is you've got the 37 millimeter gun out of an FT just on a pedestal and everything so that it can be fired as a direct infantry support without having a tank there, which is pretty slick. Here is one of our show men. Show, whatever you want to call it. Again, my intent is to mix them in as well as the VB launchers with my infantry so that, like I said, I've got 8 infantry stands per box instead of 4, and then, a whole bunch of extra random VB stands and stuff like that. I'm not sure that I'll necessarily be playing Flames of War, Great War with these guys, so it's no significant loss. If I were to ever do that, Steve has these boxes on pretty good sale, so I can always grab more. Always happy to support the Steve. There are a lot of prone figures in here, which makes sense because I think at least two of the stands are designed to be prone. There's another show man. Here is our sniper. Got a little H.W. McBride sort of action going on here. That's going to be a fun one. Lots of infantry. I like it. Lots of infantry with bayonets, which is always cool. It's kind of one of those vital World War I things that sometimes people overlook. A whole lot of infantry. Here's a little command figure with a pistol. It's always a cool one. Early war Americans, so late war Americans. They are all in the Brody style helmets. This is slick. Again, lots of prone guys, some mortarmen, some guys throwing grenades. There is a pretty wide variety of sculpts here, which is kind of cool. Here's another command figure with a pistol waving his boys forwards. I'm trying to find where I might have these flamethrower teams. Command. Aha, there we go. These guys are French, actually. These French attached flamethrower teams. Again, they're designed for World War I, so that makes sense. The U.S. would have that attached French flamethrower team, but pretty slick. I like it. So there's one of those guys. Whole bunch more. Now I'm just looking for the funny helmets. And you know what? That certainly seems like something we can look for later. Not necessarily right now. There's another frog. But yeah, so real cool stuff. We keep these guys kind of separated. Here's my VB launchers. Except they're all going to get mixed together. So I really don't need to. We're not going to do that at all because that seems silly. We're going to do this. And wipe the slate relatively clean. We'll get these guys over to the side. You can keep looking at those guys if you can see them. Again, sorry for the focus. We'll get that figured out, especially before our next stream where there's a lot of miniatures going on. So we do have another one of the half rifle platoons in there. We're not going to pop that guy open. We don't need to. You just saw them. Now, on to the extras. Again, these are direct only, which is why they get the weird looking backer on them. This is another pack of 2 French 75s at 1897. Pretty cool to go with this one. So then again, we have that kind of three gun battery, which is pretty important. You need a lot of big stuff when you're trying to kill great big Martian tripods. All right, so we got those guys. Set that over to the side here as well. And last but not least, just for you, Simo, more mortars. It says it's got 3-inch Stokes and 58 millimeter Type 2 options. So we're going to break those open and see what those look like. See what we got. Scrap my 3mm MDF, more troop movers, sleds from my next big game of minis. Nice. Yeah, Charles, I really enjoy cutting up MDF frames. And honest to God, the whether you've got window punches or whatever else, I love when manufacturers leave those in the frames because those make some of the best facing materials and rubble and everything else. Works great. I've got a bunch of Ziploc bags just kind of full of them in various sizes. All right, I guess the mortar teams are usually 2 or 3 guys. We got a lot of plugs in this pack. Whole bunch of base plugs.
Yeah.
Another 4.
The package you're opening now, that was a separate.
Yes.
Yeah, not part of the box set.
Correct. The extra 37s and the extra mortars are separate. They're an extra little chunk. I think they're like $12 or something, which is wonderful. Not mad about that at all. We're not going to try the fast dump. We're just going to slide those guys out of there. All right. Now let's look for these here mortars. All right. So we got more of the big tubes. And I guess these 57s are what the little French rocket artillery is called. I need to look up what those are actually called. I got a couple of these in my 28 mil Victorian sci-fi stuff too, Chris. I don't know if you remember those.
Yeah.
Yeah. But a couple of those get shot off of 28 millimeter Victorian airships. So yeah, we've got, I think 4 more of each of those. Yeah. Yeah. So lots of options for mortars, which means I need to find a good place to print 15 millimeter American World War I stuff, but that's not easy to find. I was looking, but yeah. Nord, I would agree with you, except I have a buddy who just got a laser engraver. I helped him set him up. And so he is all about, if I provide materials, he will cut bases. And I enjoy 15 mil, or I enjoy MDF bases quite a bit, to be honest with you. They take basing material really, really well, especially not only when they're MDF, but when they're the birch, they take basing material oh so well. Notably, unlike some of these guys and some plastic bases, even with not the best glue, but these guys, especially if it's summertime, wintertime, and you're having to wait, like you're going to work and then you're going to go play after work. When you have extreme temperature change, sometimes you'll get with crappier glues and stuff and whatever. Sometimes you'll get a little bit of peel. Never had that happen with MDF. And like I said, really notably the birch. When you're using a water-based PVA, it can get in there and really set you up, no problem. But yeah, so La Prière rockets. Those are super cool. I might have to base them up like with these guys just because of the cool factor, to be honest with you. That or do a battery of each. I've got 6 of each of these guys, these rockets, as well as the Stokes mortars. Correct. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Nord. You can. I just like running with these guys. I don't know. Wowza. So I've got some painting to do. Again, holler in the comments once we're done, or in the chat. That's fine. If you guys want to see these as they're going along, being painted and cleaned up and all that stuff. Unfortunately, I haven't had time to do that with the stuff I've been painting up to run with Toddy, some World War II stuff kind of focused on Normandy, Arnhem, or Normandy and Market Garden. Those are two operations that Todd and I both enjoy. So be on the lookout on the Wardrobe Plays World War II channel. We'll be playing some Flames of War. I know he's played a little bit recently, but yeah. So again, we've got the Brett's Brawlers box, an extra blister of the 75 millimeter guns, and an extra blister of mortars to get us that heavy support for dropping some angry on these guys. Bam, 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 bam. All right, Nord wants to see them. There you go. These might be wrapped into the rapidly approaching Hobbies Painting Challenge that Warmutt and I do every year. That signups for that are in 5 days, and then it'll start in a month. But So there we go, guys.
I thought y'all already did that.
No, we Brian Warmut had a painting challenge on his channel in September.
Oh.
The Analog Hobbies Painting Challenge is annual. Last year, I didn't quite meet my goal. I set my sights really high. Real life got in the way. I didn't meet it. We're going to smash through it this year. We're going to keep it at 1,200 points in that, and we're going to smash through it. So there you are, guys.
Well, I'm sure we'll see those on the Wednesday night show pop up and get worked on.
Absolutely. That's probably the best place to go to if you guys are looking for work in progress stuff is hop on over to Chronicles of Not Jay on Wednesday nights at 8.
Yep,
Central.
8 p.m. Central Time, Central U.S.
And these will certainly be getting painted up. I was painting up a bunch of the World War II, the Airborne and stuff. I was painting these guys up on the show. These guys, I need to get the flesh tone and silver on them. I don't know what the stopping point in my brain was on them. We're going to get them done because I got a bunch of terrain I've got done for them as well, so we can start playing.
So
But-
real quick, a
Yeah.
review just of the package you bought. Well, just a rundown list real quick of all the package you just bought.
Okay. So I got, like I said, an extra pack of 2 French 1897 75 millimeter artillery pieces. I got an extra package of 4 Stokes mortars, and then there's also 4 of these LaPierre rockets in there as well. And then I got the Brett's Brawlers American starter box, which had 2 of these rifle half platoons, 2 French FT-17s, a Saint Charmand, 1 75 millimeter, a machine gun platoon, and 2 more of the mortars, as well as command figures, obviously. So a total of 3 items. Very happy. Again, thank you to big shout out. Thank you to LBW Steve. He got them shipped out. They got here yesterday, actually. So it was probably 3 days, maybe 4 total from order to being on my doorstep. So wonderful turnaround.
Nice. Chris, what's your plan for Wednesday night? You have an idea yet?
Going to be, well, basically talking normally what we normally talk about, just gaming stuff. But I'm going to be introducing a new line of 3D models.
A new line of 3D models.
Yep.
New printable stuff or purchase stuff?
Purchasing of files.
There you go.
So I'm putting a 3D, a Colts 3D store, so to speak, up. And we're starting off with Cold War and then moving to other stuff as I see fit.
Nice. There you go. There's something new in the old warehouse.
Yeah.
Nord, hopefully not 3 years, buddy. Hopefully a few months. Hopefully just a few months. You never know, but hopefully just a few months.
No, man, if it's McMurray painting, he's going to have these done in no time flat. You're really good at getting stuff table ready and looking good pretty quickly.
What's the point of getting them if you're not going to put them on the table?
Exactly.
What?
So while I got you on here, McMurray, since you failed to answer my question,
I did?
what happened to the 3D printer?
Oh, the little white plastic
The cover?
that's on the head of that thing. You can take it off.
Yeah, I had to do that the other day.
One of the little like snap lugs
Oh.
Popped
I was
off.
about to say, yeah.
So then it fell down and goofed up a couple of my prints. I guess I didn't realize it was hanging kind of loose on one of them, and that failed and made me kind of sad. And then I went up and checked on another one, and it was entirely screwed. And I realized that it was dragging the thing around because there's a little fan on there, and it was dragging it around by the cord on the fan. It got back up there. So it has since printed several things just fine. So I think we're good on that. One thing that I did find on that Mars 5, I think my little flash drive, it's just a cheap Chinese flash drive that comes with a little yellow thing, is going out because I set something to print and then I went back up there 2 hours later and it said flash drive disconnected. And on the build plate, it had printed this weird little Aaaah Technologies, like, it's like it printed its own little promo material. The issue is it was only like 2 or 3 layers deep. So it was a giant pain in the dick to get off of the build plate. I was pissed.
I noticed something the other day because I had the S3 and the S1.
Uh-huh.
The S1 uses more filament for the same exact print than the S3 does. Using the same exact settings. But it's cool. I'm going to Chuck. So Chuck and I, we have the same paint taste. And so the other day, you at Walmart, you can buy the big fat bot. You can buy the, hold on.
Getting you some apple barrels?
Well, yeah, you can buy the big fat ones. And the only problem is after a little while, when you start taking that shit out of here, the lid gets all crusty, right? And I had a couple. So I used to do car interior repairs and dye leather and stuff like that. And you had to do the colors by eyeball. So, of course, we had color wheels on our trucks and stuff. And I've got a bunch of color wheels around here. So I said, you know what? I could probably make some of my own stuff. So I didn't like those anymore. And I got about 5 or 6 of those. So what I did was the other day when I did my groceries for Walmart, I ordered all the ones with the pop lids. So I don't have to worry about getting in there and dealing with all that crusty stuff. I can just shoot a drop out in a tray and I can start mixing. So I bought all the base colors. Like, I bought yellow, I bought blue, I bought black, white, red, and green. And then, of course, I have gray and a couple of tan colors. But much easier to deal with these. And these are great for putting shit on your bases and stuff. And if you need to water them down, they're just acrylic, so you can water them down and turn them into half-ass washes. But God, I got so many freaking. I did that big head sculpt that guy at work had gave me to do, and I airbrushed and then painted it. And for the return favor, they bought me the entire Army Painter wash kit, the big one.
Oh wow!
So I've got all that stuff. I haven't really used much of it yet, but I've got all that, and I'll start using some of that. I'm painting too. I mean, I'm forcing myself to do speed paints, and I know Marie, you saw those the other day. So that's just messing around with speed paints. These guys here, but then I caught a guy who over the last 3 months he's been doing Napoleonics and Civil War using straight speed paints, but then he's using Army Fanatics to do his like over dry brush for highlights and stuff. Yeah. And I thought that's pretty good. Maybe I'll give that a shot because I got the whole Fanatic set sitting up there too with my Vallejo stuff. But I've realized that it's kind of 50-50. Those were 15 mil and they worked out good because there's not a buttload of colors. And then I'm messing around. Germans, British, and Americans, I think I've got down for speed paints, but British, Russians, and Americans, but the Germans ones, and I probably need to quit browbeating myself over this because we always have this discussion about Feldgrau being, it's so random. And I think that one right there is not a bad look, and it's kind of a blue, green, gray. So I think that works pretty good for that.
Yeah, that looks good.
So I think I may have that down too. But I really want to get this using the speed paints because I don't want to go out and buy the freaking Fanatics World War II colors that they have.
Yeah.
I don't want to do all that because that's just more money.
So here is here's a preview.
Nice.
Outstanding.
T62.
I like
Very
it.
nice.
You really took your time. You did a great job on that.
And then here is a Centurion, Israeli IDF Centurion. So that's some.
What? No more Merkabas? No Merkabas?
Not yet.
Right.
Not yet. Yeah, those are 6mm, Charles.
Nord hit you right on the head there, Jeff.
And that's some of the stuff you're gonna.
Yeah, that's gonna be some of the stuff up for offer.
Yeah, I saw that. No, yeah, Nord, you're right. You're right. But as opposed to these guys, they paint this stuff so they can get on the table and play. And of course, y'all watched the show last Saturday, the impromptu show. I did say that I wanted to play a miniatures game next year. It'll be something simple. Oh, here you go. Here's a question for you. So I was watching the guy that was doing the speed painting of the Civil War stuff. He was bouncing the firepower rules that the Perry brothers wrote.
Valor and Fortitude?
And it was just called Firepower.
And it was for ACW.
It was simple ACW miniature gaming is what it was referencing.
Oh, you might ask Brian if he's got that. He's got their great big Perry Battlefield in a box.
He just did that recently, didn't he?
28 millimeter. He's got that huge set. I'm pretty sure it's Brian. He might have 2 of those huge starter sets. But yeah, you might ask him if he has a copy of those, or it's Perry. Half the time when they put rule sets out, they're free. Like that's what they do with Valor and Fortitude, which I thought they said they were going to start putting out lists for that rule set in the ACW. It's designed for Napoleonics, but then I know they did some Franco-Prussian War stuff for it as well.
You know how we always talk about, bringing somebody into gaming, how SCS is such a good system because it's 8 pages of core rules.
Uh-huh.
That's what Hexy wants for a miniature thing. Because it's probably not going to be, unless that reaches out and grabs me and it's a boatload of fun for me, that's not going to be something that I'll probably do multiple times over time because of the hex encounter stuff. But if it bites me, you never know what might happen. But I can't say that I'm any different. I just do it on the other side of the spectrum where my hex encounter collection is like your all's miniatures collection. But I don't think I can do both and store all that shit. I can't even store all the damn games I got now.
You can definitely do both. You can definitely do both, especially with all the stuff you're painting in like 6 mil and whatnot. Honestly, bolt action might be a solid just jump off point for you there, Jeffrey.
And that German I just showed, that was a 28 mil.
Yeah. Well,
I don't like to have to glue pieces together, so I prefer the 3D print versions.
Yep. Welcome to why these are all metal miniatures and why I 3D print tons of stuff. Because gluing things together is silly. These tanks are my favorite, like I said, because you essentially have tracks, hull, turret, or for the Saint Germain, tracks, hull, gun, and that's quite nice. I'm a big, huge fan of that.
Well, I'm going to eventually here box up a bunch of this shit and send. I was thinking about it again last night. Send it to Noble Knight. Get rid of this stuff that I am just never going to touch. I was looking at my shelf last night at 3 a.m. as I was playing and saying, yeah, I'm not going to touch that. 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 And it was growing and growing and growing. And I think I just, if I want to have fun doing what I'm doing, I'm having a real lot of fun doing this stuff with Camp Sawyer. Oh, by the way, we need to, now your picture looks fucking great.
Maybe I need to just turn the camera on and hold it there for a while, or it's because it's smaller.
Oh, those are the super glue thingies that I'm not going to buy anymore.
Why is that?
Because I've had too many, like I'll buy the blue and I'll buy the thinner stuff.
Yeah.
And if that shit, it hardens up and sometimes you can't even get the cap back off it. And if you leave the cap off it, the shit hardens up on the inside.
Oh, maybe I just go through it pretty quick. I've never really had
You probably do. Yeah, I would say you do. It's not like it's real expensive or anything, but I need to find an alternative to that. So.
The other good thing about these is you can take and I usually just clear the cap off on whatever I'm gluing together when I'm in my last piece. But then also you can just buy the dollar store tubes of super glue and you pop the thing apart and just put in a new tube. So instead of paying, $3 a piece, which is really not egregious at all.
Right.
You can just pop the top off of it and put on a new.
Chris, Chris, how you doing, buddy?
A new guy. Hey, what's up, Nanguea? How you doing, buddy? How you doing? Nord, honestly, bolt action might work really well for Jeff. He's just gonna have to paint up a fair amount of stuff,
and plus I can do detail to it. The only thing I think the only reason why I haven't gone down the 28 mil is the vehicle sizes. I don't want to paint that massive ass shit.
Well, then don't paint giant vehicles. Just play a game where you use mainly infantry or one smaller tank or something.
Gotta have tanks.
Well, that's fair. That's the cool thing about bolt action is that usually you're only using a tank or two.
I get a little confused when I see some of these guys do these battles with 28 mil, and they've got these small ass map boards they're playing on with all this terrain and stuff, which looks lovely. And then you got this tank that just looks like it's too big. And, you know, if I'm going to play tanks, I want to have some distance across the battlefield to do engagements.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's what I'm talking about, Nord. I think
Alan, what's up, buddy?
Mainly be playing solo. Mr. Sawyer, how are you, buddy?
Oh yeah. So I was saying we got to get because I'm gonna hit you up. We're gonna find a Saturday, and you're doing a stream with Alan. So you guys are gonna do Panzer or something, whatever it is y'all were talking about. It's gonna be
Panzer Grenadier. Yeah, I'm reading through the rules. A buddy of mine locally here gave me one of those binding machines, Jeffy. Not for spiral binding, but the other ones.
Like I have with the.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I love that thing, man.
So now all of a sudden, I'm not going to be paying that $8 surcharge or whatever to get stuff.
Yeah, Nord, I won't do that. I want to do something historical. So if I'm going to do it,
that's the point. Yeah, that was my point. Is that I don't think we need to worry about Jeffy trying to power game a list. I can't.
I want to throw a bunch of throw a handful of grunts on the table and do some stuff like that. Go ahead, Chris. You were saying something?
Yeah, I gotta bounce.
Right,
wife needs me to go get oil for the car. So.
Good deal. All right, thanks for popping on and covering while I was
absolutely
appreciate it.
Yeah. No worries. And for anybody out there watching now, be sure to come over and check me out on Wednesday and find out what these are going to be all about.
Yeah, that looks interesting.
So, all right, guys, y'all take care.
See you, Chris.
Bam.
There we go. Good night. Make sure y'all get over to Naches and check out this introduction of what he's got going on.
This is why I enjoy these tanks. Charles, what rules are those, buddy? That sounds kind of cool, actually.
Answer Camp's question.
Camp, what's up? I have not. I need to email the guy again. He said it should be good. I went back there and tried to click onto it, and it gave me the same not taking new members or whatever at the time, which is a little frustrating. It's okay. If anything, we can figure out like a Google Drive or a Dropbox to get the Vassal files over to me. But it shouldn't be too bad. Yeah. Honestly, I kind of enjoy bolt action because it's pretty simple, and the dice draw mechanic, it's like chit draw, Jeff.
Right.
So you don't know, okay, I'm about to go. It can mix it up so that, one guy's got one unit that goes and the other, then you got two or three that go, and then the other guy has one. And yeah, it's quite fun. I agree with Nord that the big downfall of it is people who try and power game the hell out of it. It's a simple enough fix. Just don't do it. Which, especially when you're playing, friendly games or solo games, it works really well. That's probably something that we can set up over here or at Todd's house, Jeffy. Right. And then we can honestly play you through a couple of games or do anything else. It's nice because there's not, it works well as a solo because there's not cards and stuff that, you're hiding from your opponent. It's pretty straightforward in terms of you get a die, you decide what unit you want to have go and what you want them to do, and then they do it, and you leave the die next to them saying what they did. So you can also just kind of leave it sit for a while and come back to it if you're playing it solo or together. I've had that happen with some buddies locally here where we've had to take a break for a week or so and then come back to a game at somebody's house, and it works just fine.
One thing for sure, Nord, you never have to worry about Hexy going down to a 40K rabbit hole. That will not happen. Not interested, not even in the slightest. It's cute to look at some the figures those people paint, but I have zero desire for that.
He'll have space elves by next year.
Space elves.
Jeff loves the space elves.
Space elves with Korean camping.
War Games Research Group, June 1973, 1925 to 1950, Armor and Infantry. Well, Charles, now we're going to have to look into that.
If it works, Chuck, don't change it.
Exactly. That's why I'm interested in looking into it, because that could be quite fun. The cool game I played recently for 6 mil armor was Armored Storm by Dan Mercy. He focuses on kind of the early to mid-war periods, mainly in North Africa and on the Eastern Front. Jeffrey. But that's pretty fun too. I don't even know what they mean by that, Nord. Good luck. I believe in you. Don't get caught. But yeah, again, look at these things. Look at these tanks, Jeff. You see how easy these go together? They're about as easy as you can get short of 3D printing where you have just a hole in a turret.
There you go. Chuck shot a video of some of the pages in that.
That'd be awesome, Charles. For my stuff or for the game rules you're talking about, Charles? Or are you asking about pages of Korean camping girls?
No, Chuck didn't shoot that. Not the camping girls. That's a Nord thing.
It is.
But until I see some video, I don't believe him. We want some imagery. All right, we're going to kill this because I got household chores to do. That was a great demonstration of all the stuff you picked up. Appreciate LBW, old Steve-O. Sending Steve Mall, sending some stuff out to you, getting it there quick. He was always good. So he sent me those trays I got from him. I grabbed all his trays a long time ago, and
I saw. Yeah, didn't you get like 30 GMT trays from him or something like that?
Yeah, I bought a bunch of them from him. So, and now I'm printing all my own trays. So
that is kind of the cool thing about his store, though, is he's got just all kinds of cool stuff.
Right. All right, let's kill this thing. I'm gonna go about my household chores. You're gonna paint and do stuff like that. And
oh yeah,
I'm debating sometime today, maybe going over to my game room and throwing on my camera and talking a little bit about the fall blouse stuff I'm doing right now. So
why are you debating?
Since
Don't talk about it, Jeff. Be about it.
Since I didn't do a prep video on this new scenario, I've already started playing. I can't help it. The thing's addictive, man. I didn't even think to shoot a video. So
that's good. It's a really good. Like that's a pretty ringing endorsement for the game, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I actually got the designer. He's actually thrown some thumbs up on my posts on that one, so that's a good thing.
And is that the old fall blow, or who makes this fall blow?
No, this is so there's 2 games by Compass Games, Fall Blow and Car Call Battles, before and after Fall Blow.
Mm-hmm.
And I had the Car Call Battles when I played that, I think a couple years ago. And then I played this one, which is, I think this one's older actually. But this is the one I'm playing now. And I don't know if something was not right, I think, when I played the Car Call Battles one. I think it was because, and I know Todd and I were having a discussion, how many damn Car Call Battles can you get? And there were 3 of them. So, you know, and I was thinking, and it took me a little while to figure out what it was that was turning me off with the Compass Games. I think I figured out what it was, is the counters are real slick.
Yeah.
So when you have stacks, you got to be real careful because they just fall all over the place. Even I'm talking even 2, 3, 4 counters in a stack, but I can get by that. So, but the game is fun. I'd love to set up the big thing, but I took my big table down, and I think I can still do 3 maps because they're landscape ends to end to each other. So I think I can get 3 maps on that one table, but I don't know if I'll get to that. Plus now he's not redoing the system. He's doing a modified version of it on Legion War Games called the Silent Dead series. And he's already got 3. They're not available yet, but he's got 3 that all 3 games are going to be able to connect together, just like the Car Call Battles ones and Fall Blow can connect together.
Nice. So, that'll be slick.
Yeah. So I'll probably jump on this. And I ordered, like I said, 2 days ago, I ordered Spring Prelude. Turns out that was by the same designer. And Kev made a comment. He said Spring Prelude's even better. So I'll probably like that.
What designer is that?
Greg Blanchett. Another one he did for Compass Games. He did the 2 Fall Blow type ones, and then he did this Spring Prelude one. And now he's doing stuff for Legion War Games. So
nice. My box from Tiny Battle Publishing finally came in.
Alan, you just posted something this morning, didn't you, on some of your Battlefield stuff? I'm pretty sure you did. And you need to post the stuff you're doing on oh shit, we were talking about last night. We had a good time last night, man. We were on for almost 3 hours last night.
Holy smokes, good for you guys.
Playing we got two more turns done. He's chasing me off the river now, though, Wilson's Creek. Eventually I've got to retreat anyhow to get victory points, but I wanted to try to hit a couple more victory locations, but he was getting the good dice rolls. His boys were accurate last night, let's say.
Those good Missouri boys.
Yeah, I have 5 possible activations each turn in that game. And I only got both turns I only got 1.
Oh, just bad roll.
All my leaders failed. And freaking Siegel never moved in 2 turns.
Obviously, he didn't need to.
Yeah, I need him to put pressure on that freaking left flank.
Whoa, wait, stop. You're playing the North?
Yeah, we're alternating. I played the South in Bull Run. He played the Yanks.
Oh, God, Jeff, you got to do better.
And I'm playing the Yanks in this one. Then our next one is P Ridge, and I'll be the Rebs. I get to be pretty boy Earl Van Dorn.
Don't get shot.
I just got to be careful when I'm brushing my hair on the battlefield to not be out in the open.
Yeah. Got to leave everybody's wives alone if you're Earl Van Dorn. That tends to work out poorly for you there. Yeah. Well, Camp, in retrospect, now that I recall how that game is going, you need to roll a bunch of 11s, please.
No, he rolled about fucking 6 or 7. I called him a cheater last night. He was rolling so many 60-somethings. I called Kev a cheater, too.
Why?
Well, he come on, and he was telling me about, because I was talking about EFS, about how I quit playing the EFS Vassal game with him. I said, because you were cheating. He wasn't.
I was about to say, how the hell do you cheat at Vassal? Everything is logged in robots.
I never seen some 6s come off of his Reb dice last night.
He is Australian. That might have something to do with it.
No, not him, Camp.
No, I know.
All right, I'm going to kill the thing because I need to go do my house chores and get lazy for the rest of the day. So, all right, everybody, thanks for popping over. Chris, and not here now, I know, but thanks for coming in and keeping McMurray company while he busted out all these blister packs. And everybody, I hope y'all can roll some dice today or just move some troops around or paint something or base something, which I'm going to do a little bit of that, I think, if I get a chance today. But I might just have a pop-up later with some fall blouse stuff. I'll see how my day goes and what I'm feeling. So, all right, we're out of here. Thank you all very much for popping over this early on a Sunday morning, and have a great day, guys.
I like it, Nord. Good to see you guys. Thanks for coming on. See you, Paulie.